just that. Awesome. And welcome to our Central Connection gift making workshop online. We're so pleased that you've registered and that you've come along live tonight to join us.
I can't make it work.
And spend time with us. My name is Jess Fabian, and I am the branch manager of our amazing branch, which spans across the regional areas of South Australia. And I am joined by some incredible consultants who are going to be sharing some of their tips and sharing one of their recipes that they're creating this festive season. We are also would love to hear from you guys. Would love to hear your tips and some of the things that you've made in the past that you'd like to share as well. I'm just going to check the chat box and see if we've got anyone who has written what your favourite dishes are. We don't have any yet. If you do have a favourite, you might pop it in the chat as we go along, because we'd love to hear your favourites as well. Firstly, I'd love to find out if there's anyone who's brand new to Thermomix. Feel free to come off mute, pop that in the chat as well, because this might be your very first class. If it is, welcome. Tonight we're going to learn a few of our favourite recipes, and we'll also look at Cookie Do and find some incredible recipes there as well. So without further ado, what I might do is hand over to Beth. So Beck is from Strathalbyn, and she'll introduce herself. And she's making chocolates on a stick, hot chocolate on a stick. So let's go and see some of Beck's tips and see how we're going to make that. Love to hear if anyone else has made that as well. Alrighty, so we'll just fly over from Mount Barker over to you, Beck.
Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Browning. I am a Thermomix consultant just outside of Strathalbyn in Belvedere, servicing all of the Adelaide Hills and recently starting to look into servicing Murraylands as well. So if you have anyone in Murray Bridge, that sort of area that needs a consultant, let me know. I'm happy to help. Right, so as Jess said, today I'm going to be making hot chocolate on a stick. Now this is a favourite of my kids. I used to make these as teacher gifts. We don't really do teacher gifts anymore. One of them's not at school anymore, and the other one's in the higher end of high school, and they don't really do that anymore, but they still enjoy having them themselves at home. So it's hot chocolate on a stick and cookie dough. Really quick, really easy. I'll get straight into it. 600 grams of dark chocolate. So I've just got some dark chocolate here, and I've just broken it up into their pieces. I'll put that in there. You can halve this recipe if you like. I did a half batch this morning and it turned out perfectly fine, because that's a lot of chocolate. So can halve it. 200 grams of milk chocolate. If you prefer milk chocolate to dark chocolate and you like it a little bit sweeter, you can reduce the dark chocolate a little bit and add a little bit more milk chocolate as well. So as you guys are probably aware, the 200 gram blocks are now 180 gram blocks. So I'm just going to put in one 180 gram block. I'm not going to worry about the extra 20 grams. And again, I've just broken that chocolate up inside the packet and then dump it in. Alrighty, some cinnamon. Have to have cinnamon to make them Christmassy. If you don't like cinnamon, you don't have to add it at all. It wants 2 teaspoons, so I'll add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, another Christmassy flavour, 30 grams of cocoa powder, make it extra chocolatey. All right, now we're going to blitz up the chocolate. This is going to be loud, so you're not going to be able to hear me. It only goes for 10 seconds though, so speed 10.
Aren't we lucky we've got the power of the Thermomix to crush things for us, whether it be chocolate or blitzing nuts at this time of the year. What else do we blitz? We are so lucky. I love blitzing the rice into rice flour.
Ice.
Yep. Festive season, there's lots of blitzing going on with our powerful Thermies.
That's right. So we've blitzed up that chocolate, the bowls are nice and full. It's going to make a lot of hot chocolate. We'll stick this one. So I've just scraped off the sides a little bit, insert the measuring cup, and we're going to be melting down the chocolate for 4 minutes on speed 1. Right, can you still hear me, Jess?
Yeah, we can so far. Yes.
Right. So while that's melting down, I thought I'd show you a couple of other things that I've made previously. So this one here, I've got to get the name of it right so that you can find it on Cookie Dough. So this is the cranberry and pistachio cookie jar, gift jar. So the recipe actually tells you how to do this, and you just do it all on top of the Thermomix lid, and you weigh each ingredient in, and then you push it down and then weigh the next one. So it's got nice layers to it. This one didn't quite fill the jar, so what I've done is I've added some tissue paper, Christmassy tissue paper in the top there, and then I've done a nice bow on the front there, and I've got a little Christmas tree peg. Found them at Kmart. They're pretty cute. In the recipe as well, it also gives you the instructions on to what to add for wet ingredients when you gift this. So you could add that as a label. I haven't done that in this instance, but you can add a label to it so that whoever you're gifting it to knows how to make their cookies. So that's really cool. We've also put together some little gift bags. So this one here is called Almond Addiction. It just goes really nicely, really pretty, lasts for a while. And the plastic bags there. And then these ones are the cranberry and almond cookies. Pretty much any sort of hard, crunchy cookie on Cookie Dough works nicely in little gift bags like this. And I've just done little bows on them. And another thing I've been making is the mulled spice drink. So this, when you make it up, you cook it up in some apple juice. And it's it smells amazing. Obviously I can't smell it in the jar, but it smells really good. This does have allspice berries in it, which you keep whole, like you don't blitz them down. They're really quite hard to come by in the supermarket. So I actually found them here in Strathalbyn. I found them at the Whole Foods store on the main street there. But I think you can also get them at health food stores. And I think some independent supermarkets like Drake's or Foodland might sell them as well as whole berries rather than ground whole spice. So yeah, this recipe also tells you it makes more than this, so you could make 2 or 3 jars. It does tell you at the end of the recipe how to cook it up in some apple juice. I'm sure you probably use wine as well if you wanted to do a mulled wine. And it smells incredible, and it's absolutely delicious. So that's another one that I've together and made.
Now, Beck, I may have missed it, but that mulled wine mixture, is that do you do something in the Thermomix to those spices before you pop them in the jar, or is it afterwards that you mull it in the Thermomix?
No, you actually you pre-roast them in the Thermomix. And so a couple of the things you put in at the beginning and blitz it up. Actually, do you blitz it up? Can't remember. It's been a while. But you do cook them in I did use the Thermomix. You do cook them in the Thermomix a little bit. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's some other mixtures like that as well, like our chai powders. We will have a look at Cookie Dough a bit later on and have a look at some of those mixes and spice and drink mixtures.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I was just going to say, so Kellea Wilson is our chat box queen. So feel free to pop any of your questions in there. And Kellea will be adding some of our recipe links in the chat box as well. And we will email everybody a copy of all the recipe links, and so you can create these at home.
Right, so we're nearly completely melted there. We've just got a little bit still on the sides. I'm just going to push that down.
That's pretty impressive, Beck. Like that was only 4 minutes, wasn't it? All that chocolate.
Yeah, doesn't take long at all. Yeah. Now the best tip with chocolate, make sure that your bowl is really dry. Don't have any water in there, and you fill it perfectly. If your bowl's a bit damp, the chocolate can sometimes go a bit funny. So you make sure that you use a really dry bowl. So we're just going to mix for another and melt for another minute. And then we're going to put them together. So I've got some little marshmallows here that I'm going to stick on top. And this isn't in the recipe, but I found these little chocolate Santas, which I thought might be cute to put in them as well. Just come in, yeah.
Awesome.
Little dairy milk packets. And I have seen a few people making what's called candy cane hot chocolate. So I'm wondering if it might be nice to stick some crushed candy canes on the top as well. That'd give it like you probably wouldn't want to do it with cinnamon doing it that way, but it would give it a peppermint sort of chocolate flavour to it as well, which might be nice.
That's a good idea. And I like your tip about, probably omitting cinnamon, I guess.
Cinnamon and candy cane might not. Well, it depends on your taste, I suppose. If you think they might go well together, I'm not sure. Now I did find these little. So we're going to use these little wooden spoons. I found them at Woolworths, the little festive ones. They actually have little stripes on them. So normally you buy just the plain ones from the the aisle where you buy kitchenware. But they happen to have the little festive cutlery in the festive section at Woolies.
Nice.
All right. So that's all completely melted now. Now I've just got these silicone cupcake molds from the mix shop. I think they're about $12.95 for a pack of 12. They're really handy. You could use them as liners for muffins. You can use them in this situation. I'm pretty sure I actually got them in a bunch of stuff that I bought from getting a mix shop voucher, which I earned as a consultant. So if you're the kind of person that really likes mix shop accessories or any kitchen accessories, have a chat with your consultant and see whether not being a consultant yourself might be something you're looking forward to or look at doing, so that you can earn yourself a whole bunch of mix shop items yourself. I'm pretty sure I've filled my kitchen to the brim now with all the goodies I've managed to earn over the last couple of years.
So Beck, how long have you been a consultant for?
Nearly 2 years now.
It's certainly flown by, and I'll pop you on the spot, but I'm just going to ask, what's the thing that you've learned the most? Like, what's something that surprised you about being a consultant, or that you've learned the most?
Probably the biggest surprise for me is my personal growth, confidence. I wouldn't have done this before being a Thermomix consultant. I wouldn't have been standing here pouring chocolate into cupcake molds and talking to a whole bunch of people that I don't know. But I've just grown so much in confidence and personal development. It's done the world of good, actually. I was quite shy before, and now I'm not.
And well done. This is actually, I couldn't believe it when you told me, but this is your first time at presenting in our virtual brunch session. So well done. Yeah,
this is the first time, probably not the last.
No.
I'm just giving them a bit of a wobble just to flatten off the top. And then what I'm going to do, I will fill these ones up as well, but I won't do them all now. So I'm going to do a couple with the spoons. So you sort of just sit the spoons in the middle. The chocolate supports it, and I might do a little, don't know if you can see very well, I might do a little chocolate Santa in there as well. And then you sprinkle the marshmallows on the top. And the marshmallows sort of support the spoon so it doesn't tip over while they're sitting. I'll pick this one up and show you and you can watch me spill it everywhere.
Like when the first time I made a gingerbread house, I was using all kinds of things to keep the sides up.
Keep them standing up straight in the melted chocolate. So
awesome.
That's that. Okay, so I'll carry on with doing these. Before we go though, I'll show you. These are some I made this morning. So this is a paper straw. It has like gold and silver. I don't know if you can see.
Because then they can hopefully the straw survives and they can drink it. So tell us what they do with that next, Beck.
So what I've actually done is, I haven't done it on all of them, but I have on this one. I've made a little label up which I'll tip it upside down because it's upside down when you. So I've just put stir it into hot milk and enjoy. So that's all they need to do. Have a glass of hot milk and just stir it in until it melts. The marshmallows will melt and the chocolate will melt, and then you've got a hot chocolate.
Beautiful. So
yeah.
cute. So cute. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I mean, people could put other flavors into their chocolate as well as they're melting. So that it's a really great one to personalize and save a bunch of money. I almost bought a pack of those from the market on the weekend as I needed a gift in a hurry. But now I know what to do to have on standby over the festive season. Thanks, Beth.
No worries.
Awesome. What we're going to do is jump over and we'll see Beck a bit later on. I think we're jumping to you, aren't we, Jackie? I reckon. There we go.
Yep, there we go. Can you hear me?
Certainly can.
Okay, so I'm Jacquie Young. I've been a consultant for 9 years and support all sorts of people as well as sell the Thermomixes. I think I've got probably about 200 what were unconnected customers. So I have a little Facebook group. We trade as Thermador. If anybody wants to look me up or whatever. So today I'm going to do fudge. Just before I do,
your thermos going to turn off.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. There you go. All good. All good.
Don't you worry about it. We're all over this, Jess.
Sorry.
Sort of, anyway. So one of the things that the fudge showcases is the sugar work that the TM6 can do. And I wanted to sort of just bring it to people's attention. Like, as a consultant, I hadn't actually really done a lot of sugar work. I'm insulin resistant. I noticed, I think it was Karen that was asking whether there's things that we could do to reduce the sugar. And certainly any recipes that catch your eye, Sharon, if you put them through GPT and ask them to reduce the sugar in that, it'll come up with a variation of that. So that's quite good for people who have little bits and pieces that they're perhaps allergic to or something like that. It comes up with some good solutions. Now, sugar work. The sugar work itself is a mode, but it only works on a guided recipe because it uses that extra heat. I made some lollipops last week. Oops, can you see these?
Wow.
How's that? Yeah. Now, those are so simple. It's almost exactly the same as what I'm going to show you today. You get the sticks from Spotlight, get the small sticks, which are $5, not the big sticks, which are $9. But all you do there is just get some natural, colour? Yeah. You can put some essential oils in there if you want. So if you had a green one, you could put like a little bit of peppermint. Put that in at the end though, because otherwise it'll evaporate. And you have some lovely little lollies there. I did a stall yesterday at a school, and I just put them all in like little cups, stood them up in the sugar and whatever. And I was really impressed with how colourful it made the stall.
Wow.
So that's just one little thing. And just before I start the sugar, this was my attempt at Beck's little cupcakes. That was a candy cane. I took those to the stalls, but obviously they snapped and whatever, but it makes it a bit pepperminty. I don't know how many of the kids actually got them home. I think they were more eating them than anything else. But anyway, so just if you want to swap to and from my my second screen, you'll be able to see the screen on the Thermomix here, hopefully. Oops. There we go. Can you see the fudge there?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So then we're just going to go start cooking. And it gives you this absolute spiel to start off with all the sugar work recipes. Basically, it says to you, most of the recipes in Thermomix are quite forgiving. If it's like, I don't know, a gram here or a gram there. When you're doing the sugar work, stick to what it says. You stick to what it says, it just works. Just fantastic. So Now, I've got one of these tins here. It does say a square tin, but I found that the rose gold, the small rose gold tin, is exactly the right size. You can use the silicone mat at the bottom there, but I found that it does stick to the sides a little bit. So I have actually gone for the greaseproof paper there. So I've got that all prepared. Oops. And then we're just going to put an enormous amount of sugar in here, 600 grams. Oops, like that. Now, I was shopping for the sugar today because I'm going to make some macaroons later. $2.20 for a small bag of caster sugar, $2.70 for a 2-kilogram bag of granulated sugar. I hope everybody that's listening today is making their own caster sugar. Oops. There we are. 300 of whipping cream. I'm going to put that in. Now, I did make some of this earlier, and Pura did me out of 6 grams of cream. Can you believe that? Right. Going in there. How are we doing for that? 280.
That'll do.
No, we can't do that'll do when it comes to this stuff.
With the sugar work.
Yeah, so there we are, another 3 grams in there somewhere. We're nearly there. How's that? Oh, we've gone over now. Anyway.
That happens.
Now, teaspoon of lemon juice. Don't fall into the trap of not putting a teaspoon of lemon juice in, because this is what actually makes sure that it doesn't crack. That's it. Like that. And then your unsalted butter, just like that. We'll just throw that in like that. Oops. There's me. Get in there.
This is a lot like the caramel toffees that I often make at Christmas time.
Very, very similar, Jess. Very similar. And one of the main things is just how it's whipped up at the end.
Right.
There we go. Now, put this on. We put the splash guard on, which is around here somewhere. Where's it gone? How could you lose a splash guard, hey? There it is. Sorry about that. There you are. That's your splash guard. And then, as you can see, that's why I really wanted this second thing, is so you can see the icon, which is the sugar work there. Now, that's going to go for 30 minutes. However, don't worry, there's more. This is how it comes out. Can you see that there?
Oh, just one sec. I'm just going to swap over to that one. Yes.
Yeah. There. So, as you say, Jess, it's very similar at that particular stage to caramel sauce or whatever. Now, I'm just going to stop that there because we'll do that later.
Is this like TV? Is this like TV, one I prepared earlier?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been a real fudge day, this one. So it goes for 30 minutes, and then you have to leave it to stand until it's about 80 degrees. Now, this one should have stood that long. There you are. So when the mixture's cooled, it says, now this is when you can add your flavouring. This is a very, very basic fudge, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was confident to go away and do it. So, but, you know, the world's your oyster at this particular bit. We're just going to put a teaspoonful of vanilla. You will notice that it's the natural vanilla essence and not the artificial one. I know the artificial one's cheaper, but, you know, you just can't skip on quality sometimes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on for that. And we're just going to wait 7 minutes.
So we're stirring it.
Yeah, that's it. We're mixing it now. So Jess, that's me for the next 7 minutes if you want to move on, and then we can jump back and we'll show you really the end bit.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for streamlining that. I was looking at a different recipe. So I realised you were doing sugar stages, so that's wonderful. And Kelly will pop a couple of recipes into the chat box for those that might not have the TM6. But if you are,
Absolutely.
yeah, if you're wanting to see the TM6 and taste the caramel and honeycomb, you can contact your consultant as well.
Yeah, completely. Now, for people that have the 31 and the 5, I have actually like a little bit of a flyer of bits and pieces which are nice to make. So if you jump on across to Thermador and just drop me a message with your email address, I'll email it out to you.
Oh, bonus. Thank you. Thanks for all your fudge making today, and we'll come back and see you in a little while. We will jump from where you are over to Heidi next. Hello, Heidi.
Hi, Jess. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Yes, my name's Heidi. Been a consultant for about 6 years, and I'm here in the Hawthorne Blackwood vicinity. So let's come in for a drink. That's great. Every year I like to sort of get making some sort of Christmassy thing to give away to family and friends. Everyone's got things already, and well, I can't buy expensive things, so giving gifts that you can eat is, for me, a really good gift. I've made chai latte instant drinks before, where the powder gets mixed up just with either the milk or the hot water. And I've had people request that again and again, just as subsequent gifts, or even I'll pay you for it. They absolutely love that sort of thing. Today I'm going to be making something a bit different, which I haven't made before. I was inspired by the new magazine, maybe back to front, I don't know. The last one that came out for almost summer, and the pistachio cream. I've been a Nutella fan from a long time ago, and I thought, well, let's see if we can make something similar with pistachios. And now they've actually put it onto cookie dough. It wasn't here that long ago, but it's now cookie dough, so I can actually follow the recipe without fumbling with my glasses and looking in the magazine the whole time. So pistachio cream, I think it's originally an Italian type recipe. They love using it as cake fillings, pastry fillings, their cannolis. They like to put maybe a bit of the pistachio cream. Sometimes they mix it with mascarpone or ricotta or something. You can also mix it into an ice cream. And yeah, well, it's your oyster. Put it on your toast in the morning for breakfast, which is going to be my go-to, with this first batch. And then if I really love it, I'm going to be making it for Christmas presents for my family. All right. I'll have a quick look, see if there's anything I missed in my tips and tricks, but I think most of it's there. I think it keeps for about 1 month in the fridge, it said. Yeah, just sterilise jars, set aside, let them cool, and then refrigerate, use as desired. Yeah.
It's a little bit like lemon curd, but a fancy Italian version. Did you say it was Italian?
I think it's perhaps a cross between a nut butter and a curd. It's not a curd as such. It's got milk in it. It's got white chocolate in it. It's got the pistachios, which you could roast up as well if you wanted a bit of a roasted flavour. This is just the natural pistachios that I'm using. Yeah, lemon curd. It's got eggs, so no, definitely no eggs in this one. But yeah, it's not a nut butter. It's slightly different. It's got the chocolate variation, and well, you always had me at chocolate. So we'll start cooking this one. There's only a little bit of cooking that's needed in this recipe. It's quite a simple one. White sugar. I've only got the brownie sugar, but it's pretty much white sugar. That's 50 grams. Pop that in. 100 grams shelled unsalted pistachios. Yeah, like I said, you could buy them. You could roast them, or you could buy them in their shells, and maybe even release them from their shells. In Italy, they do release them from the shells, and they're even more fresh than they would be if you buy them in packets, which I could do today. Oh, thank you. You brought me. Oh, my dog brought me a present. I'll just
Thanks, doggy.
thanks, darling. Insert the measuring cup. We're going to blitz this up briefly. With any sort of nuts, if you blitz and blitz, you'll eventually get paste, you get nut butter. So it will be a bit powerful on the ears. We'll give it a bit of a blast. B10 for 30 seconds, Jess.
No worries. So here, if if people have made nut butter before, so that's another great cost savings. And I loved how Heidi mentioned, you know, that we're creating these gifts from home. We can save money, and we can hopefully pour our love into these gifts, can't we? If we're in a nice, peaceful frame of mind, we'll be pouring lots of love into these gifts, and they'll be really unique gifts as well. So it's definitely the time of year for for teacher gifts, gifts for colleagues, might be making hampers, or even just have some gifts on hand for unexpected visitors.
Wow. It's just turned into this fine, powdery, almost looks like a matcha powder. Oh, smells nutty, but super fine, really nice. So we're adding 100 grams of milk. I'm using regular cow's milk. I suppose you could quite easily make it with a variant milk if you're lactose intolerant. But today we will be doing regular. And we will be cooking it for 4 minutes at 100 degrees. So speed 3.
When does the chocolate go in, Heidi?
Afterwards, you have a look on the preview and it says add the chocolate broken to pieces. The chocolate, if you're looking for a nice chocolate, I would go for a quality one if you can, but don't buy the Lindt one, which comes in little, no, they've got little separated cubes and they're absolutely delicious, but they're not any good to melt at all. So be careful with the Lindt ones, but go for quality if you can. You can taste it in the long run. Salted butter. I'm not sure why they say salted butter over unsalted. I could actually add a bit of extra salt because I do like a bit of salt even in my desserts. If you're a bit of a salted caramel fan or a slightly salted chocolate fan, you could add a bit of extra salt. Yeah, after that, it's just a quick, quick 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that again. And
And
then it's already put into the jars. So it's that simple, that quick.
beautiful.
Yeah. And I think you could add your own flavours, different flavours as well. If you wanted to put a bit of vanilla in, I think that would work quite nicely.
It sounds absolutely delicious. You could even pop it in the middle of a cake layer, couldn't you? You could.
Like, yeah. You could put a bit of cream and then a bit of this pistachio cream. Absolutely.
And
yeah.
we're making pavlovas in our branch meeting on Monday night. So we have a Zoom branch meeting. And we have just over 80 consultants and they can join in. Kimberly was making pavlovas and showing us some tips there, but the pistachio cream could be a nice addition to those mini pavlova wreaths. Like people could choose to pop some on there as well.
Even sort of in place of a marzipan type filling, there's a lot of biscuits that have marzipan and cakes. There's some German Christmas cakes. I don't know if you could use it in that. A bit of a variation. It wouldn't be traditional anymore. But I'm sure there's definitely quite a few. Are you showing a few with pistachio cream going in?
Yeah, so it must have just been added. Let's just double check. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. Let's check if it's it's in the sweetened sauces. It's not the one from the magazine, perhaps. But that will be
it's the same amount, same ingredients.
Oh, there we go. They might have just added it there for us.
Okay.
Nice. So here we are in cookie dough. If there's anyone who doesn't know what cookie dough is, then please talk to your consultant, because even if you have a previous model, you can actually use the super handy and inspirational. So let's just have a little look. So I popped a few of these in. I'm going to be having a look at this nut recipe next, which is something that I've made, but some of our other recipes are on the screen now. It's super handy to be able to prepare what you're going to do. But also, when you see recipes that you enjoy during the year, you can save them to collections. So I'd love to show you my Christmas gift collection, which went during the year. I've seen, you know, recipes, and if I think it could be a Christmas gift, then I press on the 3 dots and I add it to a collection, and I can pop it into my Christmas gift collection. So here's some of them that I've made over the years or aspired to making. It's the caramel toffees, which is absolutely delicious. And this one's in our Made with Love class. We will be making this on Sunday in Minlaton on the York Peninsula. If you know anybody who lives near Minlaton, let them know we're doing an in-person class this Sunday afternoon. They are to die for. Those parmesan shortbreads, absolutely delicious. And some of our consultants were giving some of their favourite recipes, and some of them have said some of the fruit mince pies and these cookies. That's what Beck did. And also things like powders and chutneys. So we've got some beautiful spice mixes that we could create at Christmas time as well. And chutneys and relishes are always a good one. So if you actually type in Christmas gifts into, and there's even gingerbreads there, gingerbreads and almond addiction's always popular. If you type in Christmas gifts into your cookie do search, you'll actually get ones that come up that could be good, and you can have a little look and see if there's something that takes your eye. I think I saw somebody in the chat box wrote that they made cranberry sauce or cranberry chutney today. Christmas trees. So if you do want a little bit of help and inspiration with your Thermomix, make sure you book yourself in a demonstration, because you can personalize it so you can learn more, whether you need to learn more about cookie dough or learn more about your high heat functions and modes. We can help you and also give you some tips on Christmas gifts too. You're done, are you?
The 3 minutes are done, and it's sort of just warmed it up to quite a hot temperature, and it's turned to a bit of a, I don't know, a gravy sort of consistency. It's looking a bit greeny at the moment.
Nice.
That'll be the pistachio, so it's the very basic form at the moment. But once the chocolate goes in and the butter goes in, and once you set it in the fridge, I'm guessing it's going to be really lovely.
Yeah.
100 grams of white chocolate in pieces. 80 grams of the butter, also in pieces. So measuring cup once again. And I suppose the heat in there is going to help melt the chocolate, help melt the butter, because now we've got 3 minutes. We're not actually cooking at this point. Speed 2, 3 minutes.
Oh, excellent. So then that'll be done. It'll be nice and sweet and nutty.
It'll be beautiful.
You're making Nutella, but like white Nutella with pistachios. How fancy.
Absolutely. I can really imagine this drizzled over ice cream, although once it's in the fridge it won't be so drizzly anymore. But if you were to re-warm it up, you could drizzle on ice cream. I think that would be maybe almost like a chop top variation.
Yeah.
So try it, because I'm a bit of a chop top fan myself. So yeah, putting it into cakes, putting it in between layers of cakes.
Yep.
I like those slices, like a marzipan slice. You could put it in there.
Right. And it lasts for a month in the fridge, so perfect to make before Christmas in the lead up, and tell your gift recipient how to use it. And yeah,
Well, it's going to be less than 10 minutes. It's been a little bit longer because we've been chit-chatting, but honestly, it's about 10 minutes to make. And how easy is that? Making just a little jar for each of your family members. And I don't know. I think it's a gift from the heart, gift from the Thermomix.
yeah, exactly. So good. And what we'll do, we will, if you want, you can give your tips on how to get it in the jar if you've got a jar ready. But while we're waiting for that to cook, I will just jump back.
Can I just finish off the fudge before it sits in the sets in the
Thank you for reminding me.
Sorry to interrupt and everything. I was just getting a little bit nervous because this morning I got it to the second cooling down, and I actually cooled it down too much, and it's just ended up a little bit grainy. But I don't know whether you can see this now. It's it does say to do it like almost straight away, because otherwise it does start to set in the
and there's different types of fudge anyway, isn't there? Some people love it, the crumbly fudge, and some people prefer the smooth fudge. So this one might be one of those more the textured type.
Well, it depends, I think, very much on how you leave it to cool at each stage.
Right.
So I don't know whether you can see that. But that's actually coming through really quite smooth.
Yeah.
And then you'll just sit there and leave it to set. Now, one of the things that it does say, and I love this about the sugar work, is it does tell you to clean the bowl straight away. So, and it gets you to put in 1,000 water. And it does this with the lollipops as well. And in fact, the lollipops, it is really important, because otherwise you end up with with it set in there. That was the 15 of vinegar that went in. And then, as you can probably see, if I turn this around like that, it's not even giving you the choice of whether to use the sugar work one or not. It's going to take it straight the way onto the pre-clean. So just to completely finish off, sorry, I keep disappearing there. But this is one I weighed earlier. Do you remember, Jess? I was eating some.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just going to show you there. It's a little bit crumbly because, as I say, I let it go less than 80 degrees. And then just had to warm it up slightly. If you have to do that, make sure you do it really slowly. Don't just whack it up to 80 or whatever. Just gently stir it and bring it back up. And it's not, we've lost nothing. It's just a little bit more crumbly, that's all. So there you go. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those tips, and I'm sure people will be making their fudge and gifting that this Christmas. And lots of different flavors too. What would
absolutely. You know, get your little silicone bag, pop a few in there, and all of a sudden it starts to look just like one that you'd wander down the shops in Hondolf and probably spend $12 on a little bag of it.
Exactly. Saving heaps of money there. I love that we can save money.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what we might do is bring you close to my screen, just for those that might not have seen this part before. You saw before on my cookie dough that I popped a few of the recipes into the cook today, and when I turn on my Thermomix, I can bring up the cook today, and off we go and cook. Now, it's a little bit dark there, but I'm going to show you one of my favorites. It's spiced nuts with cranberries. Now, I often, for the last, for many years, I've made nuts and popped them into bags as gifts. And I love this one. And there's also another one, which is more of a savoury type one. So what we'll do is I'm not going to pop the oven on right now. It's quite a warm day today, but I'll pop it on later and cook these up. But basically, it's really easy. We're just going to pop in the butterfly whisk, and this recipe just needs a bit of maple syrup, which I just remembered I didn't get ready, but that's okay. We'll skip that for now. And it won't be quite as sweet. But I then popped in an egg white. So egg whites are quite handy this time of year, aren't they, around Christmas time? And we've got a little bit of salt. So I love my little bamboo container. Not sure if this is available at the moment from the mix shop. As Beck was saying, consultants, we can get lots of things from the mix shop for free, or even 15% off as a consultant as well. Now, this one's just for 30 seconds. We're going to whisk that up, and literally we are going to add a few spices. Just change the screen over. Where am I? There I am. Awesome. So that's going to whisk it around, and then literally we're going to pop in our flavors as well. This one's a bit of a sweet one, but as I said, there's another one, and I will share that one. I don't remember what it's called. It's a super easy one. I'm all about easy and quick. Sometimes I like doing fancy, but if you're after something super quick, most of the ones we've shown today are easy and quick as well. I would say I'd have to pop the butterfly out. Now that's just whisked it a little, sorry. And it's just looking like that. It's all gone nice and white. And then we're going to pop some nuts in. So you'd put nuts of choice. I only had almonds. I'm going to be boring, but normally I would do almonds and cashews at least, because I usually have them on hand. But today I'm just doing all almonds. But they've suggested maybe pecans, walnuts, Brazil nuts, those types of things. And then we've got some cranberries, just some dried cranberries, a bit of light brown sugar. So that's going to make it sweet. I don't think we'll miss the maple syrup unless it was probably needed to make it sticky. Whoops, that's all right. I was going to get honey, but I'm sure it'll stick enough. We'll be fine. And I've got these little yogurt jars. I use these for some of my spices. So I'm putting in some ground cinnamon at the moment. I love to get that in bulk, and then it smells amazing. And I keep that in my little yogurt jar, which is my spice jar. And then some ground nutmeg. Now Thermomix grinds up nutmeg beautifully, and it just smells amazing. But this one I'm pretty sure I purchased already ground up. But if you haven't tried it already, making your own spice mixes in your Thermomix is amazing. You'll get extra flavour. There is a recipe, Kelly, called Christmas spice mix. If you could look that one up for us and pop it in the chat. That was one of Grace Mazur's favourite spice mixes, and it's great to use it at Christmas time, but also at Easter time in your hot cross buns. I could have put it in this one actually. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to mix all that up together and cook it. So it's just a 3-minute cook at 120 degrees. I'll pop my little steamer basket on top to let out a little bit of that steam. And I'm pretty sure that's all you do, and then you bake it. So, transfer onto the tray, and you bake for 15 to 20 minutes. Just going to check the speed there. We'll leave it. It's on speed soft, and we'll just leave that one, and we'll go back to see what Heidi's doing, or Jack. Ready? Mine's done. How quick was that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Heidi's yours in the jar already?
No, I didn't put it in the jar, no. I was going to say, either you can buy the amazing jam funnel, which I do absolutely love, from the mix shop, and it makes it super easy getting your jams, condiments, anything into a jar. So if you don't have one of those, you can actually use the lid of the Thermomix, put it either which way around, and pour in the middle, and then you'll have any extra sploshy splooshes catching on the edge of the lid. Anyway, we are a beautiful, beautiful, smooth consistency now. I can't believe how smooth this is. I've had a little taste already. I couldn't help myself. And oh my God, it's really good. Ice cream. I'm thinking ice cream, honestly. Somehow I'll either remelt it, but I think it would be just gorgeous on ice cream. So I think it's not quite another one of these jars. These are those, what are they called? Mama jam jars. So not quite enough there for another one. So no, I'm going to have to eat that tomorrow for breakfast, I think. And I was going to mention the Christmas spice mix as well, Jeff. In the past, I've sometimes put it into the little yogurt jars, like you mentioned, the spice jars, yogurt jars. And when the mix shop has a good sale, we can actually buy them very cheaply and give them away as a Christmas gift. They are a Christmas spice, but they're great in lattes. They're great in spicy teas. They're really good in banana bread. Doesn't have to be used for Christmassy things necessarily, but yeah, very nice spice that you can mill up fresh in the Thermomix, and it doesn't get fresher than that when you use whole spices. It's really worth a try. And yeah, you can use, well, that has shelf life for quite a while, although the earlier you use it, the fresher and tastier it will be.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
I highly recommend we make a batch of that. If everyone makes a batch of that this Christmas, adds so much flavour. Thank you, Heidi. I just wanted to share with people as well, speaking about Christmas crackers, we've got this graphic here for us. So if you or somebody you know would like to make Christmas things like you can, this is the current offer with Thermomix, and they get $638 of value. So that is a cutter, a $350 mix shop voucher, and a blade cover peeler. So that is a current offer with the Thermomix, and there's lots of different payment, and probably the best, well, definitely the best option would be to earn yours or get a discounted one by using time to pay for the Thermomix instead of your money. So when you choose to give that a go, then you'll get some extra bonuses, and you can earn over $950 worth of bonuses in your first 60 days. And after that, you can earn thousands and thousands of different bonuses as well. Beck Browning was one of our lucky recipients to be one of the first ones to earn all of our booster rewards, or most of our booster rewards, that totaled over $5,000. So that can be achieved in your first year with Thermomix. So please reach out to your consultant if you would like to know more information, and we'd love to share with you, because there's still plenty of opportunity in South Australia. Like I say, there's 93% of people that haven't seen the Thermomix yet, would you believe? So plenty. And if you do want to show some friends and learn some great things while you're at it, you'll get rewarded with our new festive host reward, one of the host rewards. And as you can see, there's some great things on here, things like a mini vac, your cookie dough subscription, and just for showing people, you can access the host price, which is a high discount. But when one of your guests decides they want to start their own Thermomix journey, then you can get it for free. So there's plenty of options. I'll show you the grazing box next. But like I said, if you do want to learn things, why not get your consultant out? It can be express sessions, nice short one. and you get the opportunity to give the gift to your friend to show them how the Thermomix might help them. And while we're there, what am I going to do? I'm going to replace Spotlight. While I'm there, mine's finished, except for that naughty maple syrup. I was going to substitute it with honey. But I reckon it's still going to be totally fine, hopefully. We've got the beautiful smell in there, all those spices, and we've got the egg white and the sugar has coated that, the almonds and the cranberries and all the spices. And I'm literally going to, you can't see, can you? I'm literally going to bake that on a beautiful rose gold tray here, a well-used one. But I'd highly recommend, if you've got access to lots of nuts or you're happy to go get some, it's a really lovely gift. But always check with your gift recipient about their allergies. That was one of the tips one of our consultants gave. Check about allergies, especially the pistachio cream and these nuts. Anything you bake, just check the family's allergies. And this will bake in 15-20 minutes. And then they will be absolutely delicious with those Christmas flavours. What I'd like to do is I pop them in the bamboo box. This is the smaller one. You might have noticed that was one of the host rewards as well. You can get access to both of them. And I pop the nuts in here and those shortbreads and all different things, whatever you make. You can take along as something over the festive season in one of these bamboo boxes. Or you could even buy them and gift your gift recipient. You could gift the whole thing to them if you wanted to. I usually take things along to parties in those bamboo boxes. It's so easy. Or even, picnics with the family. It's great. Pavlovas and build your own little pavlovas. It's fun. We have come to our 8:30 almost, the 1 minute. Let's go back to you, Jackie, if you're ready. You got something to show us? I thank all of our amazing consultants. Kellea Wilson in our chat box, thank you so much for putting in all the recipes for us and answering questions. And thank you, Rebecca Browning, Heidi Schulze and Jacquie Young for presenting tonight. What have you got there, Jackie?
Oh, sorry. I was just asked to make hot chocolate for the small child because he wants to go to bed. So yeah. I was just actually using the warming up mode on the Thermomix to warm the milk, to use one of those last of the hot chocolate things just to sort that out, Jess. Yes, I was just thinking that the host rewards are wonderful, but we're all really, really busy just before Christmas. And I'm sure people know or will have seen, I'd love a Thermomix, but I can't have a party or anything else. But there is, of course, the referral link. And then just before Christmas, if you refer somebody and they do decide to purchase, then you'll get $100 gift voucher for the Mix-It shop as well. So that was perhaps just one thing as well that might be nifty towards Christmas.
Beautiful. Good idea. Thank you very much for letting us know. And thank you to everybody for coming along to see us tonight. Hopefully you got some tips there. And what was that last comment? Don't forget to what was it? Don't forget before cleaning the bowl properly to clean the bowl with fresh milk to make a cheeky hot chocolate with what is left in the bowl. Yes. Did you do that tonight, Beck?
Yes, I did, but I didn't leave it here for too long. I've shot down the hallway and given it to my son, so he's happy to be having a hot chocolate right now. I chucked a couple of marshmallows on the top as well.
Beautiful. And, I can see in the background you got a beautiful setup there. Are they some of the ones you prepared earlier? The other ones are still setting?
Yeah, the other ones I've popped in the fridge. So these are the ones that I've made earlier today.
Yeah.
So that's them unwrapped.
Plenty.
And then I've just popped them in cellophane bags
Yeah.
with little labels on them. A couple of them have got labels and some don't.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks. Well done for your very first time, and lots of learning for everyone as consultants. So that's great. Well done with your personal development. Same as me. That's what I get from Thermomix as well as friends and fun. Thank you, everyone. We will see you at our next one. Next year, we'll be doing more of these sessions. And as you've heard tonight, we want to make sure you're inspired to use your Thermomix at Christmas time and create some yummy things. I'm going to bake these up and give them to my neighbours or something like that. Better not eat them all myself. Thanks, everyone. We will see you at next year after you've had a wonderful festive season with your friends and family as well. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Hopefully you're inspired to make something yourselves. I'm sure you are. I'm going to press stop recording.